You guys, always good. Welcome back on the Uncle Sharma channel. How are you guys doing? Champions League reaction. Inter nil, Real Sociedad nil. Flat Inter performance. We're here to react to a little bit of a flat performance, especially if it was very flat compared to the recent. Let me just move this a bit more central. Very, flat compared to the recent performances by Inter. A little bit disappointing, which means that ultimately Real Sociedad, they only needed a draw in this game, and they secure historic, by the way. Shouts out to them, first of all. They didn't particularly play a great game, but the performance in the group stage has got them a deserved first spot in the end. They end up as the first team of this group, Group D. 3 wins, 3 draws. But what clinched it for them was their defensive performance. They scored 7 goals, but they only conceded 2, which gave them that 5-goal difference. And Inter scored 8, but conceded 5. So those 3 goals conceded against Benfica really hurt us in the end in terms of goal difference. And I think, to be honest, I think Inzaghi didn't really try for it in the end. The players didn't seem like they were too bothered by it. And Inzaghi with the substitutions, I don't know what you guys think, but I think it was pretty clear with Inzaghi that he did not really care about that first place. Not that he threw it away, but it was kind of like, big deal. And I think that just shows what we've been talking about on this channel since the beginning of the season. What we really care about this season is that second star, to add that second star. And I think Inzaghi, if there was any doubts on what the focus is this season, I think this game showed it tonight that Inzaghi's focus is the Scudetto, and I don't blame him. But anyway, I've got the usual, not many screenshots, not actually much happened in the game. Even for neutrals, it wasn't a great game to watch, to be honest. So there's only a few screenshots to go through. So it's not going to be a long live stream. Maybe we'll be on for about 20, 30 minutes maximum. But I appreciate everyone that's in there, 63 people. So first things first, leave a like, subscribe to the channel. Let's go. Yeah, that's what I mean. As Nathan says, the first comment here, I see the fact that he took Thuram off and then, brought Arnautovic on, brought Aslani on. To me, it doesn't really strike me. I mean, Lautaro came on, okay, but I think if you want to go for the win, you keep Thuram on, who looked really good. You keep Lautaro on, and you keep Alexis, or even add Arnautovic to the mix. That shows to me that because the Inter was the team that needed the win, not Sociedad. Sociedad were very, very happy with the draw, and that's what they got. And yeah, the refereeing probably wasn't particularly great. Yeah, the referee wasn't particularly great. Ahmad, we say we don't care about first place, but I don't like seeing Sociedad. Yeah, but I mean, for them, this whole thing was historic for them, Ahmad. Their first time in the group stage, and now first time not in the knockout stages. So fair play to them. Fair play to them. I don't mind teams like this. Yes, maybe they played, a frustrating game against us today. But I don't have any particular beef with them. And yeah, it's not nice to see a team celebrate at the Meazza, but at the same time, 2 games we drew against them. It's not like we really lost. But I would have liked to have clinched it. I would have liked to clinch that first place, to be honest. It was there for the taking because Sociedad weren't doing much. They didn't do much all game. I think if we pushed a little bit more, we could have got it. I guess this boring game compared. Yeah, there you go, Mattia. There we are, so confident that we don't care who we get. I think there's a case of that as well, with some self-confidence, but also just in terms of it's clear now Inzaghi just doesn't want to overstretch his squad now. The rotation, his eyes are already on Lazio, the Lazio game at the weekend, not overstretching, and whoever we get, we get. So yeah, I think a dose of self-confidence now after we reached that final of the Champions League last year, but also that half an eye, more than half an eye, from both eyes open onto the Lazio game, and just peripheral vision onto this Champions League. Awful game, very frustrating. UCL refs today have been awful. Yeah, I don't know in general if you're talking about other games, because I wasn't watching any other games, but refereeing, yeah, some fouls here and there, and some decisions. In the end, the decision that got overturned as well for the for the penalty. That was good to see because that was the dive from Takekubo, 100%. Yeah, people. That's what I want to see. I want to see what your thoughts are on Inzaghi's approach because he it's clear that he didn't really go for this. I disagree. I mean, interest in terms of Fratesi. I thought Fratesi actually was one of our better players today. Mkhitaryan was actually really frustrating a few times. He won the ball back a lot, but then he lost it a lot as well. It was kind of like there was a bit where he won the ball twice, then lost it twice in the same exact action. And should have done better in some attacking. And he's just, I mean, I don't even blame him. He should be rotated more often, Mkhitaryan. He's just, overstretched physically, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, now we just got to cross our fingers and hope for the best in terms of who we get. We'll have a look towards the end of the stream who we can get, guys, and we get our opinions in. But yeah, let's see who we get. As I said, I wouldn't mind Arsenal just because of the banter and the back and forth that's been going on with Arsenal fans on Twitter recently. But they are a hard team. I'm not underestimating them in any way or shape. But it would just be a nice matchup. But I hope we get whatever's the easiest team on the first place team that won that one. I already blamed the ref for 0-0, but he was so inconsistent. Yeah, I agree, Sharif. I agree. Yeah, I mean, this is what we've been talking about. Like, people, when things are going well, everyone's talking about, oh, do you think we can win the treble? Rasham, do you think we can win the treble? The depth is there, like in general, everywhere else. But the striker position, do you really like if Lautaro gets injured, that's it. That's probably the end of games. If Thuram gets an injury, I mean, again, touch any type of wood that you have right there at home right now. But if anything happens to those two at the moment, it looks really, really dire because I don't want to really pick on any singular players today, but Alexis, non-existent, guys. We thought, especially I mean, when we got Correa out for Alexis in, I wasn't a big fan of the move, but I thought, okay, he wants to come back. Inzaghi is happy with it, and surely this guy is at least it's a improvement on Correa, which is not hard, but I thought at least that's an upgrade on Correa, even if it's a few percent, at least it's an upgrade. But at the moment, the Alexis we've seen until now, not good enough, pretty much non-existent. Awful Alexis at the moment. And Arnautovic, came on, not really much to talk about with Arnautovic as well. Both. I mean, with Arnautovic, we can say at least that the injury as a little bit of an excuse because he was out for a few weeks with that little injury he had. But even then, really, really useless. Really, really useless. Mattia, hope you're doing well. Hey, Anthony, I mean, I'm not going to stay on for long, bro, but if you want to come through, Anthony. And did you get married, by the way? I forgot. It is this month you're getting married, but I forgot the exact date. So if you have, congratulations. If you haven't, still congratulations and good luck. But yeah, let me know, bro. If you want to come through quickly for a few minutes, you can always, you've got the login anyway. I hate when Thuram, so yeah, I hate that as well, Paki. I hate that. That moment was, that moment, it said into Aslani, when Aslani came on as well, it was like, yeah, Inzaghi doesn't really, he's not out here to get to get first place. Looks like a few people won Arsenal. I can see Mattia, Indro, Jono as well. Jono wants Arsenal as well. Again, one other comment about our backup strikers from Adam. Our backup strikers are rubbish. It's like we're playing with 10 men. We want to play. Yeah, literally in the first half, Thuram was playing on his own up front, basically. It wasn't a 3-5-2, it was a 3-5-1 because Alexis, apart from running around, wasn't really doing much. Really, really disappointed with this Alexis Sanchez comeback until now. Even the game where he scored in against Salzburg, he actually wasn't very good in that game. But, we gave him the doubt. Actually, I think his best game is the Salzburg away game, which actually I thought he was quite decent in, but he didn't score or assist in that one. That's probably the only game where I feel like, oh, okay, this Sanchez could be useful. But apart from that, I think every single other game I can think off the top of my head has not been very good at all. And yeah, 100%. Fratesi today, especially the first half, I was impressed with Fratesi. Second half, maybe a bit less, but his defensive work today, Fratesi, some duel winning, the battling in midfield, some of his runs that he made. I was impressed. But he didn't get. It's like we can't get everything with Fratesi yet. Today was better with his like keeping the ball, defensive work rate, positioning, but we didn't get the attacking side of Fratesi, which we have got until now. So if we can add both of those to his game in one match, then we've got a great midfielder. But at the moment, he's showing aspects, but he's still a work in progress. Clearly with Inzaghi. The Arabic commentator kept whining the whole game about how boring the game was. Actually, kind of funny. It was, yeah. We can't lie, can we? The game was kind of boring. Let's have a quick look actually at the stats quickly. I'm pretty sure Inter did do better than. Hey, what happened there? I'm just trying to get. Oh. Maybe click on Inter pictures. There we are. So 45%. That's actually a lot more possession than I thought, Inter, because in the first half we finished the first half with like 35% possession. So we must have really done much better in the second half to end up with 45. Oh, so according to FotMob, let's see, maybe other websites do it differently, but it's pretty much the same. It seems XG is 0.72, 0.73. We had 10 shots, they had 5, but both of us had 2 shots on target. According to this, they had 1 big chance. Which one was this? Yeah, the one from the corner. They were asking for a penalty from this one, yeah. They completed more than 100 more passes than us, but most of them were just playing around the back. Honestly, Inter, we didn't really press them high, so we did kind of cause this, but Sociedad's game today was very, very boring, very sideways passing, keeping the ball for keeping the ball's sake. But that's all they needed to do today. There was no point of them really stretching out and forcing the game. So they played the smart game, but very boring game. Lovis Inzaghi by subs are his weakness. Well, today, Adam, I think that was his strategy. So today it was a conscious decision by Inzaghi for this result. Not that I'm saying he went for 0-0, but he didn't really go for the kill. And I think he did that on purpose. He's already started to think about Lazio resting Hakan at the end, not having Lautaro and Thuram up front together. Yeah, but as always, as Eduardo says, Il Limone Ball, we trust. Thank you for the donation. But Inzaghi now has to live and die by this decision, and it's not the end of the world. But this means that this commitment to the league needs to now deliver the Scudetto. Simple as, because today he decided that I don't want to win this group stage, this Group D against Sociedad. I don't want to win it, or I'm not trying my best to win it. I'm going to finish second. We'll take whatever strong team is left it will be in the competition, and my focus is on the Scudetto in Serie A, which again, I don't blame him, but at the same time now he needs to deliver this decision. Or we might end up getting lucky. We might end up getting the lucky side of the draw again, like we did last year. So who knows? Inzaghi seems to have not decent luck in the knockout competition. All eyes on Lazio now. We can't Allegri to top the league 100%. Third game, we got dominated and cannot get enough possession. But I didn't think we got dominated, Mike. I disagree on that, because the possession that Sociedad had was honestly really, really pointless. In the first half, they had like 70 or 65% possession, but we had more XG and more big chances created. So their possession really was useless. You could say that in terms of that was their game plan. That's true, that they pulled off their game plan. But at the same time, with the way into press, I don't think we were even trying to really counteract that game plan. It was kind of, we'll sit back, we'll attack, we'll counter press sometimes, we'll counter attack sometimes, which it was close to happening if Alexis actually was useful. And even Thuram, he did amazing on a couple of runs, but some of the decision making, if it was slightly better, we could have punished them, but we just didn't. Inzaghi playing the charity case is why we bottled this. But again, Tariq, I don't think this is bottling. This is, I think, what Inzaghi kind of planned. Maybe he was hoping to sneak it, of course. I don't think he's going out for a draw, but this seemed to be the conservative game plan by Inzaghi. So I don't think he bottled it, in his opinion. I'm ready for them London Fools. Yes, Kirby, we are ready. We are ready. Bastoni sub was the main one. That problem with just chuck Sensi on. Yeah, even something like that. You know, you don't need to. Again, this goes on to the usual Inzaghi kind of thing. You don't need to keep playing 3-5-2. You can, you know, switch around a little bit, play like, you know, I don't know, 4-4-2 diamond, or just, you know, change things up, 3-4-1-2, change the look a little bit. Yeah, put an extra midfielder on, keep an extra attacker on, like keep Thuram, maybe play him slightly wider, and then have Lautaro in the middle, have Alexis on one side and Thuram on one side, 3-4-2-1, you know. But we know with Inzaghi, that's always his criticism that I'm going to bring up one now that things are going well, because I know it's always a criticism that comes when things are going badly. Last year we talked about it so many times, but you know, it's even in games like this, it's true that, you know, he will just do change for change, player by player. Yeah, I agree. Today, I do feel a little bit disappointed by it. Again, I stick by Inzaghi's decision. I trust him on his decision to do what he did today. But me personally, especially the way that Sociedad played, they were there for the taking. We could have won this game. We could have won this game if we really pushed for it. Manuel Pellegrini, Sandra said the La Liga clubs love to waste time. Yeah, 100%. They love to waste time. They love to waste time. You already know it is Arsenal we get right. It seems to be written in the stars. It's written in the stars. We get Arsenal. They've been fudging around, and now they're going to find out. Let's see. Dortmund. Yeah, I wouldn't mind Dortmund. They're always a very open team, and always fun team to play, and definitely there for the taking. When Alexis on the field, it's like we're playing with 10 players, need a striker in January. Yeah, that Taremi rumor might need to heat up a little bit now, because we might be needing that striker, that extra striker for sure, by the looks of things. If these guys don't wake up, Arnautovic and Alexis, I don't think we can get another backup striker during the window, but Esposito was cooking. Yeah, well, as always, let Esposito just cook. If he's cooking one game, I want to see him cook for the whole season. In Serie B, by the way. And again, with Esposito, I wouldn't even mind keeping him having him as a fifth choice, but you just know Inzaghi's not going to give him any time, so that's pointless. There's no point having players like that on the squad, because we know Inzaghi's not going to give him playing time, so that's just useless. Hey, Napoli talking now. Make sure you guys check him out for Napoli content, best channel when it comes to that. To Marotta. Hey, man, me and him, well, he's been tweeting and I've just been tweeting back at him about Marotta memes, basically. He's been cooking up those Marotta conspiracies, those Marotta League conspiracies on Twitter since the Napoli game. But yeah, he's a good guy, man. Definitely, you guys check him out. And yeah, Napoli finished second in the group, so congrats to Napoli. They're having a bit of a stinky season, an awful season by a defending champion standard, but at least they finished second in the group behind Real Madrid, which is, you know, even Spalletti's Napoli would have been happy with that result, because they're not going to try finish first ahead of Real Madrid. So good result for them. Let's see who they get as well. Feeling double feelings today. My local team, FC Copenhagen, went to the knockouts, but on the other hand, Inter played pitiful and will have a harder time in the draw. Oh well, congrats on that one. Well done on Copenhagen. They got ahead of this Galatasaray team that a lot of people are kind of, you know, pushing. And what happened to super striker Icardi? Could he not take Galatasaray above Copenhagen? Some Interisti's wet dream. Icardi couldn't even do that. Thuram pushed their press back with his dribbling. The game died. Yeah, exactly. 100% AD. The game died when Thuram came off. So that is a good team. They're really good on pressing. Yeah. I mean, let's get into some of the screenshots I prepared, because, yeah, we talked about it in the first game. Before the first game, we talked about it yesterday in the pre-game. This team is fantastic at pressing. Even today, even though they played quite a conservative game, and their pressing today wasn't as intense and high as usual, but this is a screenshot from the second half, but I could have picked so many instances from the first half. There was a reason, apart from the pointless possession keeping and just passing around the back. The reason why they had so much possession in the first half was that Inter couldn't keep the ball either, because we were trying to play out from the back as usual, but their pressing is so good. And Inter did struggle here in these phases. Here, we did keep the ball, but you can see how close Sommer is to Sadiq, who almost got the ball off him there. They're really good at positioning themselves, and the intensity they press with is really, really impressive. They're very, very well drilled. So shouts out to their coaching staff. Really, really good. And they made our life difficult, especially in that first half. But apart from that, wasn't a very impressive performance by Sociedad. But I guess I must say, that was their game plan. So what are you gonna say? What are you gonna do? Let's see some of your comments. Baki says bring Satriano back. I mean, let's have a look at his statistics. That guy scored like 1 goal when he went out to Empoli. Let's see how many goals he's got this season. 1 goal again. 15 appearances, still 1 goal, bro. This guy is not good. I had actually some decent hopes for this guy, but the numbers are really, really bad, and he gets regular minutes. It's not like the Serie B guys that we send out and they don't get minutes. This guy got regular minutes at Empoli in Serie A. He got regular minutes in Ligue 1 last year, and he's getting regular minutes in Ligue 1 once again. And again, if you keep him as a fifth striker, is Inzaghi even gonna develop him? I mean, I guess he's 22 now. He's not even like a young kid anymore. He's gonna be 23 in February. So, but I guess Italian standards are still young. We need either to Arnautovic to wake up or Alexis to wake up, or we really need that fifth striker. But I just struggle to see it happening, to be honest, financially. Yeah, I agree with you, Meji. As everyone's saying, just the Thuram transfer is just the substitution was just the killer of the game. Lazio matches in 5 days. Don't understand the heavy rotation for an important game. Yeah, you might. I understand, because I think Inzaghi has learned from his mistakes of past season. I think he knows how important it is to keep this team fresh. It is an high average age team. Every lineup that we put out, we averaging ages around 29 to 30.5 usually when I check the average age of the squads. Let's have a look today, because SofaScore always put out just physiologically. This team, it can't cope with so many competition. The Coppa Italia is also going to start soon, with the injuries we've had recently as well, especially at the back. I think he is just a little bit wary of overrunning some of these guys. Of course, not Mkhitaryan. Mkhitaryan, he's going to drain. Look at today. Average age of our team, 31.1. That's probably the highest I've seen it this year. Really, really high. You compare it to a team like Sociedad, 26. Just, it's going to catch up to you eventually at some point. When these guys, just the recovery period for guys when you get older is just slightly that 1 or 2% slower, but these things do take an effect. And we do have a expansive and also intensive style of play, not in terms of how we press, but just the amount of kilometers we have to cover in this 3-5-2 is a lot of coverage we have to do in the way that we play. The wing backs have to overload the right centre back, left centre back. They have to underlap or overlap sometimes. The forwards go in, out, wide, pressing from high. It's quite an intensive system to play the 3-5-2, especially the way we take it. Oh yeah, of course, we're taking over Alexis Arnautovic, Adam. There's no doubt about that. But again, the bar is really low. We'll take Correa back right at this point. I mean, okay, maybe not that bad, but really, the bar is so low at the moment where you're thinking was Correa this bad as Alexis last season, or did he do a bit more? Might need to go and look. I think Correa might have had more goals than Alexis at this point. But again, we're literally clutching at straws here. We have to take a moment and laugh at United. Yeah, they finished last in the group stage. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. And Onana again today. I saw the goal. I saw the highlight of the Kingsley Coman goal. It's not Onana's fault, but he just doesn't look the same Onana. He should have run out to Kingsley Coman 1v1, but he just stayed in goal. He just stayed stuck to his line. There's something, mentally it's completely destroyed Onana over there. Still, the comments are coming in about Alexis. I don't blame you guys. Fusion God, I don't blame you at all. When is the draw? Actually, I don't know. Let me just check quickly. UCL draw. Isn't it usually like January time or something? Oh no, next week, 18th of December, um, Monday in Neon at 12 Central European time. So next week we'll find out who we have. Nice, nice. Very, very good. Very, very good. Uche, hey, it's been a long while since I've seen your name in there. Good to see you, bro. I knew Limon didn't care about this game when I saw Sanchez. Yeah, exactly. Even the starting lineup, guys, it was an indication like earlier on in the season, in the group stages, it was okay, kind of like, rotate. But the fact that we started our must win game with this lineup already gave an indication of where Inzaghi's head was. Well, I mean, at the same time, which is like, there's a lot of them that there are some forced decisions in there, like, Bastoni only just came back from injury. So Augusto kind of needed to start. It was going to be Augusto or Bisek in there. I was surprised Cuadrado actually completed the full 90 minutes because I didn't think that he had it in him, and he completed it quite well. The only real one I would say is the Lautaro for Sanchez, but I guess, that is an indication that he wasn't fully in it. But I thought, in my press preview, I did say that if we do start this game like that, because this was the predicted lineup, I said Lautaro comes on second half and we'll still be able to win the game at least, but it didn't quite work. But yeah, nothing to cry about. Like as we said, like as long as we can avoid some of this, again, there's no really super teams, but if we can avoid some of the really hard teams like Bayern, Real Madrid, and Man City, it's okay. I'll take my chances against pretty much even if we do get Real Madrid or the other teams, I'll still take my chances against these teams. But this Inter team does give me confidence this year, regardless of who we get in knockout stages. Yeah. Pretty much 80% of the comments are all about the Sanchez or the striker situation. Everyone is really, really concerned about this, and I do not blame you. Yeah, no, Taremi is underperforming this year for sure. But at the same time, he's in the last year of his contract. Like, it can be either, last players that are last year in the contract, either they really overperform like crazy. Like, remember Perisic last year of contract, Rabiot last year for Juventus, he was like fighting for his life for a new contract or a big bump offer from somewhere else. He had the season of his life last year. Or you can have guys on the last year in the contract, like they know that they're going to leave. They're going to get, Taremi doesn't even earn that much at Porto. He knows he's going to get a decent offer, either even as a substitute Premier League team or, Serie A. Regardless of where he goes, his money will be higher and better than it is at Porto. So you kind of lose motivation sometimes in like, maybe not even like consciously, but it's hard. Like you saw Thuram as well last year at Gladbach. He had a first half of the season, Thuram was amazing. He scored like 13 goals in the first half of the season. Then second half, pretty poor. Because I guess the second half, he was already kind of gearing up for life at Inter or wherever he was going to end up at. So yes, he's not having a great season for me, but I wouldn't judge him too harshly on that. I think he still would be a great addition to bring in to that. No, you're not going to be able to get Icardi in January. I mean, they paid like 10 million from PSG, so Galatasaray are not going to sell him for cheap, and he's got a high salary now as well. So if you wanted to sign Icardi, it was going to have to be this past summer, but we missed the boat on that one for sure. This year for sure you won't be able to sign Icardi. And yeah, again, yes, people are gonna like cry, oh no, we need the reputation, European respect, heritage. Yeah, I agree with that, but again, we'll agree to disagree on this, but as long as you get me that second star on my shirt, that's all I care about this season. But of course, if we can do well in Champions League, I'm not going to be like scoffing at that, but I'm just not losing sleep over it. Same goes for Coppa Italia. If we win it, we win it. If we don't, I'm not losing sleep over it. That was the same actually for last season for Coppa Italia, but we know Inzaghi loves that competition. Inter did, Nick Knox, he's along the same lines as me, did this on purpose, bring us Arsenal. Yeah, look at everyone wants Arsenal. We need to think about, Mickey definitely today. Like I even gave him man of the match for the last game, Mkhitaryan, but today you could just see like Inzaghi is doing the same thing that he was doing to Dzeko, because he's running him into the ground. Because he had a great game last game round, but you just need to let him rest sometimes. The guy, like, just at his age as well, these guys, these 34, 35-year-old guys, you just need to like take a bit easy on them. Although the stats really love him here, even though his pass accuracy was really bad. I mean, wouldn't we make it fun of Frattesi if he had this pass accuracy? But the thing he always does really well is this. This is why he gets higher ratings on these apps. 7 defensive action, 4 recoveries, 6 duels won, 2 out of 2 aerial duels. Like he's a battler. He's a battler. That's the thing. He instead of his actual technical abilities, he's actually what his usefulness at Inter has become his physicality and his battling ability. So we kind of had 2 guys doing the same thing today in midfield, because Frattesi was also more focused on the battling, better on the passing accuracy today than most Frattesi games, but only 13 passes attempted. But he was really good. Like 3 out of 3 tackles, 2 clearances, 8 defensive action, 4 recoveries, 6 duels won. Really, really good in terms of positioning, battling, defensively. I was really impressed with Frattesi. He's probably actually my man of the match, to be honest. Yeah, guys, you guys give me your man of the match, because apart from this, there's not really too much to talk about. Almost all the strikers wanted to summer have been the floor except for Scamacca. Yeah, but even Scamacca, even though he has been good when he's playing, but he's been injured so much that spending 30 plus million on him already would have looked like a flop as well. Especially if we spend that kind of money. Imagine everyone will like, Marotta buying injury-prone players. But yeah, Mickey he is definitely continuing to doing the hard work. Oh yeah, Carlos Augusto as well. Good shout from Prameshwar here. Let's have a look what his stats were. Heavily involved, no crosses completed, but yeah, he didn't really get into any particularly dangerous situations but this is where he was really good on Kubo. Like Kubo tried a few times, to get past him, but he was just there. He was a smart inclusion by Inzaghi. He really helped DiMarco out defensively with Takefuso Kubo. 7 recoveries, 6 duels won, 6 out of 8 aerial duels. Like he's got that dog in him. Like he's a proper, hustler, Carlos Augusto. Like he's one of those guys that the fan base is gonna love regardless of how he performs, because he's one of those guys that just puts, works really hard. He's got stamina. He's not like DiMarco. You can just see huffing and puffing after the 60th minute. Augusto he's got that diesel engine on him. God, yeah, I know you're just trying to trigger me anyway, Mattia. You're doing a bad job. Mickey Recovery comes after. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like there was that point where I mentioned earlier, he won the ball twice, but he gave it away twice in the same action. And then there was a few moments where, like he should have let the ball. Thuram made a great run, passed it to Mkhitaryan, but he should have let it run through his leg to DiMarco, who was waiting behind him, and then he stopped it, and then he turned around, and by then the ball was just like the occasion was lost. And then Mkhitaryan had the best chance of the game, but it was not going to count anyway because Sanchez, the ball went out by the time Sanchez put it in, but it was blocked anyway on the line by the defender. But really, in terms of chances, there wasn't really too much to talk about. But this was a massive one. If Sanchez just about managed to keep it in, this is a new meme, new Limone Inzaghi meme. Him and Lautaro watching the action there on their knees. And yeah, these were the stats. Oh yeah, this is the stats at half time. Like look at that, 67% possession for Sociedad, 33 for us, but very, very empty possession. And then after Thuram came off, it was pretty much game over. And then there was this call, by the way. I mean, we said the referee was bad, but I think we got away with it here. Cuadrado did have a decent game. I was kind of impressed with Cuadrado's play, but here, a little bit shaky, a little bit risky, holding on to the guy and didn't quite get to the ball. And they did have a penalty shout here, but they got away with it. And this was a big chance for them, but it was straight Azoma, luckily. And this was right at the end. Lautaro had this chance, kind of half chance, launched the long ball into the box. The defender headed it backwards. And then in the form that he's in, you can't blame him. He was a bit selfish here because it looks like I think he went for the goal. Like he shot on goal. And I think it should have been a corner because I think the keeper did get like slight fingertips on it. But could he have maybe found a way to get it in the middle to Arnautovic or Frattesi or Acerbi's there as well? Bastoni's also there on the edge of the box. Maybe. I don't know. There is a defender right in front of him. I didn't rewatch this action, but I think maybe Lautaro could have done something else than shoot here. But again, as we say, he's in amazing form at the moment. So yeah, it's can't really blame him too much. Oh yeah, I mean this good point by Indra. This should have been a corner because this came off a Sociedad player and it went out. Like when Sanchez put it back in, it wasn't because Sanchez overstretched. It was because the ball got deflected by one of the defenders. So it should have been a corner for us. But I don't understand how this wasn't like the play was stopped, but it should have been stopped for us having a corner, and it wasn't. So that was a bit weird. Inzaghi needs to do Spalletti in field Bisek. Yeah, I wouldn't mind to see that, to be honest. I think he can do that Ranocchia type of job, Palm. Bisek, win some headers, and he's a bit of a baller with the ball at his feet as well. So good shout. Bisek is a late Ranocchia type substitute up front. I like that. That's a good shout. But yeah, guys, short reaction from me today. I wanted to react to potential teams that we can get, but we need to wait till tomorrow because a lot of the groups are kind of still out in the open on who we could get. So we can react to that next week when the draw happens on who we get in the Champions League and who you guys want. But I know who you guys want. Pretty much every comment has been Arsenal. Give us Arsenal. So I know who you guys want. But yeah, thank you for everyone that tuned in. Sorry, it's short reaction. Well, actually 37 minutes, actually still pretty long. I said 20-30 minutes max and it still was longer than that. So thank you everyone that tuned in. Appreciate you. Leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. I know it's 0-0, but we're still through the next round. That's all that matters. And now let's see who we get next. And we'll see you for the Lazio preview. Ciao ragazzi, forza Inter.